Hey guys, Miskatonic here. Welcome back to Let's Play the Duchy of Kiev in our mega campaign. I relooked at the last video I posted, and I noticed that, alright, well I figured out that this is probably a landless character invasion. So I also noticed that his 2,000 stack army did reach there first. So unless he tried to move or something, it means that he's probably in control of this siege. So what I'm hoping for is that he's going to win. He's going to take it over. And I believe it'll be a Russian. I'm not sure how to check that. Oh, no, he's Hungarian. Well, that's fine. I'll still be able to conquest him. And as soon as he wins, I'm hoping that his death stack will continue to be there. And I believe he's going to inherit the war. The current wars, because it's a title, claim. I don't think it matters who the holder is, so he'll inherit those wars. His death stack, will easily crush the armies of both of these counts, so that won't be an issue. And as soon as he wins, I'm hoping I'll have enough money, maybe to raise a mercenary group, something to take over that 2,000 stack. But I'm thinking I'll just let that happen. Maybe keep an eye on that. You can take a look at maybe our retinue. I kind of doubt there's any retinue at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get military organization before I can build one. But we'll just continue to let the money roll in. I'm getting close. Alright, so it is in control of the Hungarian. Alright, so he did win. He's still defending against Korsun. And he's actually got 3,000 guys now. They must be event troops, which means that they're not going to be... they're not going to be disbanded. Yeah, he's attacking. What do I have right now? I've got maybe 1,500, 1,450. So I do need a mercenary group to be able to stand a chance against 3,000 troops. That's just a given. I guess I could continue this, but I'm just more interested in seeing this through. I want to make sure I can get this province before the big bad Khazarians get it. Right now they don't have any holdings in Ruthenia. Homegarter, unfortunately, no, he still hasn't expanded into Ruthenia, which is good. The more Rus lands he grabs, the easier it'll be for me to subjugate them all at once. He is getting attrition in my in the pagan held. That's one of the benefits to being a defensive pagan. Even with a small count of 3,000, he's getting pretty high attrition. It is reinforcing, however, which is interesting to me, because I know event troops can't reinforce, or at least they don't for the player. Alright, so still trying to pass this law. It's getting closer. Alright, so the more... Yeah, this is definitely looking good. He's down already 600. This is a defensive war. Okay, so he did win that war. He's coming back. He's down to 1,700. I still need mercenaries. Looks like typhus is happening somewhere. Yeah, Hungarian and Tengri. Alright. I should still have a conquest. I do. And this will be actually the first holding I've received outside of Kiev. As soon as that, as soon as I actually win that war. All right, so we finally passed our law. It's going to be another 5 years until we can pass another one. I'm not sure. I usually just put the levies up to maximum. I tend to leave taxation down pretty low, with the hope that they use that money to build up their holdings, which will benefit me. It does mean I make less money in general, but I don't know. I think it's worth it. Alright, so we can finally bring military organization up. Let's see if we have enough for a retinue. We can get the archer one, I believe. Where is it? Here it is. No, I guess you need 600. I'm gonna mark this guy as special interest. I know we have a truce. And we don't, in fact, have a truce. Alright, well, I may... Does he have any allies? He has 2 that he can't call into war. Or so the game says. But, I think I will take care of that. We are racking up some pretty high vassal opinion penalties, but I would prefer to get this guy out of the hands of a pull sooner rather than later. So I'm going to do this. Alright. I'll bite the bullet here. Bring everyone to Galish. My wife just keeps making babies. He is going to catch me here, so I'm going to move everyone there. And he may attempt to siege me with this. If he does, I might do something about it. But we should be able to siege through this holding before he can do any damage to me, so... and with this amount of levies, I may even be able to just take this stack on. I guess that isn't including the levies he can raise from this. Which, aren't anything to laugh at. Deceitful is not the best trait. I'll try to get her to be honest. Merge these guys together. Probably should have put leaders in them before I moved out of my territory, but c'est la vie. I suppose that's okay. It's not really going to be useful for us until we can create a republic. But I suppose it's not the end of the world. Speaking of republics, I'm not really sure where I would want one. Does this have a port? It does have a port. No, yeah. It must. I can't see it, but if I don't suppose you could build a shipyard if there wasn't a port. So I'm assuming there is one there, which means I think Crimea is entirely coastal. So that would be a pretty interesting republic, the Republic of Crimea. So that is an option. Yeah, Temple Shipyard. It has to be a port. So. Uh, if all goes well, I'll make the Duchy of Crimea a republic in the future. Of course, I have to be a king first. I just think that would be a good location because there's not really anyone competing in that area. Venice and Amalfi and Genoa are already taking Italy up. There isn't one in this starting date, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a republic up here either. Maybe in Estonia. Alright, so this, he's not even doing anything. He's not even attempting to siege. Looks like I had another son. Kind of jumped out of my sight before I could confirm that. Let's take a look. This guy is just completely unremarkable. No genius boys, just one genius daughter. Sviatoslava Vladimirovna. Alright. So any day now. I mean, he has no chance. I would hope he would just give up, but they like to make you incur vassal penalties, I think. I am known as the Careless. High Chief Vladimir the First, the Careless of Kiev. That's an auspicious start to our campaign. We are getting money. Sieging does give you a bit of money. I'm not sure how that value is determined. It might be the amount of tax income from that holding. Some kind of modifier, I'm sure. Alright, so we did siege everything. They're probably not, it looks like they're not going to give up. As soon as I beat their army, I have a feeling they will. My other daughter, my genius daughter, wants to be educated. I'm gonna train her in intrigue. I'll let my wife do it. Still making Constantinople happy. Okay, let's take a look at this battle. Doing pretty good. Lost maybe 200? Yeah, 222. Alright, so we're now at 100%. And with this, we have eliminated the threat of Polish occupation of Russian lands. So we can all rest easy, I suppose. Alright, we'll get these guys back out. And I should have enough money. What is this? Interesting. He has a vassal of a different culture. The mayor is Russian, however. I hope he revokes it, honestly. But I don't think he will. Alright, so let's put our troops back to rest. And I think we have enough to challenge this guy now. I'm going to declare war on him. He has 14,000 troops in the province. I'm going to raise everybody. I'm going to bring them all to, I guess, here. I might not... Okay, he's chasing me there. Is this guy going to get away? Absolutely not. What about if I run this way? No. I'm just going to disband this unit then. Okay, so let's bring everyone to Kiev. We'll see if we need... It looks like we will need mercenaries just to be sure. As soon as I crush their army, I can relinquish their patronage, I suppose. Um, hopefully none of the cheap ones are all taken. All right, we'll get this guy. We will be losing money, but all we need to do is crush his army. I'm gonna come from Trinagov to avoid the river crossing. See if anything new is coming up here. Tolerance, not worried about. I would like some noble customs. Vassal opinion is always important. My daughter wants to be cruel. You know, I don't really mind, so I'll take the 5 prestige. Alright, he's running away. And he is going to succeed, so I'm going to leave, or follow. Now ill and stressed. Alright, so I will catch him this time. Alright, lost ill. And definitely doing pretty well in this battle. I don't know if I want to chase across the river. I don't know if he can do anything with that amount of troops either. So I'm just going to siege through his holdings as fast as I can. It's possible this first castle will be enough to reach 100%. It's so close. But it's obviously not enough for him. Alright, we'll throw our troops at them. We're Russia, we have endless amounts of manpower, right? Alright, so we'll enforce demands here. This is our first conquest. We took the holdings of anyone who had a different religion. First order of business, I'm going to send everyone home. And at this point, it's probably in order to have a bit of downtime. Let these opinion modifiers go down. 30, almost 30 is pretty high. And let my army levies recuperate for a bit. I wouldn't mind doing this. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I guess I can just give these away. Unfortunately, this province is Khazar and Tengri. It's not Russian. And what is my income from this? I'm not making any income from this right now. I might just give it away to another Russian. So we want a man who's not a ruler. Yes to religion and culture. And a Russian Slavic with the highest stewardship. And that will be this guy. He's a marshal. He's not an heir to anything. So we'll give him the county of Chortitza, including the lower titles. And you always want, well, I always want, each county of a different religion and culture to go to a vassal with the highest stewardship, because that modifies the cultural conversion chance. And we definitely want to spread Russian culture as far as we can. It seems to be an easier task in Crusader Kings 2 than it is, at least in Europa Universalis 3. But from the previews I've watched of EU4, culture conversion will be a lot simpler. So it's not as big of an issue, but it's always nice to have your culture, everywhere. And with this, I'll just let the clock run a bit. We'll keep an eye out for that religious festival event. When does that happen? Before August, at least May. I'm not going to be creating any duchies. I just, with inheritance the way it is as under Gavelkind, it's just sort of shooting yourself in the foot. My truces expire very quickly. Is that that must be a pagan thing? I'm not sure how that works. Alright, levy reinforcement. You know, as much as I want these to go down, I'm worried about losing my Ruthenian holdings. So far, he must have the ambition to become king. Yeah, he does. He wants to become the king of Rus. Okay. Chief Jobrinia has inherited the county of Lyubek. Zealous and greedy. Perfect. Alright. So it's almost May. And we can now do this festival again. So our Norse vassals declined. And Chief Vasibor is once again the personification of Yarilo. You were conversing with another guest when loud screams of passion interrupt. In one corner of the room, in full view of everyone else, Chief Yamelian is engaged in carnal pleasures with one of the serving girls. Both are completely naked, and only when they notice the stunned silence in the room do they seem to remember where they are. It sounds like quite a feast. Bye, Perun, and now I hate him. Morsels of food and clean-picked bones fly everywhere from the direction of Chief Visibor, as he greedily stuffs himself with the delicacies served at the table. Suddenly his face turns a strange shade of green, and he rushes toward the exit, but only make it as far as Chief Yamelian before he starts retching his stomach contents into poor Yamelian's lap. That could have been me. So I hate him as well. The liege opinion of his vassals doesn't seem to matter too much. It's just your vassal's opinion of you in terms of gameplay, I believe. I can't think of an instance where that would affect anything. So it's just a very cheap gain of prestige and piety. 3 gold for 100 of each is well worth it. I'm also going to go on a grand hunt. It's not as good of an investment as the festival, but it's still some prestige. Needs to be September. Oh, I'm too unhealthy. I guess I'm too stressed to go relax on a hunt. Go figure. Alright, well these are dropping. The Seabor of Turov still hates me. I guess he's one of the vassals that have had the longest, so I guess that makes sense. His troops have been raised longer. I might just wait till next year, maybe take on these guys. Speaking of culture and religion, let's take a look. Culture extends through the majority of Ruthenia and Rus. Rus being held by a Norse king, I guess, is potentially a problem, but I haven't noticed them changing culture in their provinces very, very regularly, if at all. And majority of the vassals are Russian, so it's not too big of a problem. Russian actually extends beyond the borders of Ruthenia, down here into Wallachia and Taurica in the Crimean Duchy. Elsewhere, German is doing decently. Frankish is still held. Was Frankish? Frankish is actually... wow. West Francia is held by a German, which could cause some very interesting results in the future. Lotharingia is Frankish, however. Elsewhere, looks like the Norsemen are doing their thing. Not really any surprising changes at this point. The Muslims, don't believe this was Umayyad to begin with. I could be wrong. I believe it was the Idrisids to begin with, and unless they're an alliance, that would give Mali a chance to reclaim their de jure lands here, which would be interesting. Abyssinia is... I think they took this stuff over. I don't believe that was theirs to begin with, and it looks like it has a conquest penalty, so they're expanding, which is cool. Abbasids have not yet formed their uber empire yet, which is a good sign in general, for the Byzantines at least. It is my hope for them to conquer more of the holy sites, the Orthodox holy sites. Croatia is here. I don't think they start existing, so that's interesting. It looks like Italy has completely fragmented. What is this? That's Lotharingia. I guess that was what was left of Italy. So we got some powerful duchies down here. It's cool. Great Moravia is still around. Sigiland, Denmark hasn't really changed much. Unless... Is this Denmark? I think he owns all of this, which is... that is a little scary, actually. This is the precursor to Sweden. They're doing predictably pretty well. And then Holmgarder is, I think, bigger than he normally is, at least in my experience, this far into the game. It's been, what, 13 years or so? They're doing pretty dang well. But anyway, this has been sort of an update of the world. Take a look at these culture maps and stuff again. Everything's Catholic. Yeah, I'm not seeing too many changes. Tengri, Norse, yeah. Alright, that's all looking good. Culture's pretty predictable. It hasn't really been much time to culture change yet, so this is what it looks like now anyway. But yeah, it's been about 28 minutes, so thank you guys for watching.